Welcome to MidEast In-Depth. Today we'll be looking at two opposing commentaries about the role Saudi Arabia should play in reaction to the rising threat of terror. David Ignatius comments in the Daily Star that Riyadh will be a crucial ally as the United States seeks to mobilize Sunni Muslims against the terrorist ISIS. Ignatius writes, the kingdom's many critics argue that Saudi Arabia itself helped spread the toxic virus by bankrolling Islamist rebels and their extremist Salafist Muslim ideology. As if to insulate itself from such criticism, the kingdom recently donated $100 million to a new UN counter-terrorism center, and its senior religious leader, the Grand Mufti, declared ISIS and its Al-Qaeda forebearer enemy number one of Islam. He explains, for a generation, Americans and Saudis have worried that the kingdom was a potential tinderbox with Muslim and secular extremists vying to undermine the conservative monarchy. If anything, the kingdom seems slightly more stable now than a decade ago. He adds, US and Arab experts describe a kingdom that is worried about three dangers: the rise of Iran and its Shiite Muslim allies, the resurgence of Sunni extremism embodied by ISIS, and the reliability of the United States, the kingdom's protector, which is seen by many Saudis as a superpower in retreat. Ignatius observes that it has been Saudi Arabia's recurring nightmare to fight external enemies by encouraging Sunni movements that turn extremist and threaten the kingdom itself. This happened in the 1980s when the Saudis joined the CIA in sponsoring the Mujahideen in Afghanistan. The devout Muslim fighters drove out Soviet troops but evolved into the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. Ignatius concludes that the Saudis must worry that a similar process has happened again. However, Western analysts credit Mohammed bin Nayef and Khaled bin Bandar for seeking to build more competent professional security services at Interior and Intelligence. In The Guardian, columnist Owen Jones, however, writes in a harshest tone, saying that ramped-up rhetoric on security makes no sense so long as the West cozies up to dictatorships that support fundamentalism. Jones writes, as the British government ramps up the terror alert to severe and yet more anti-terror legislation is proposed, some reflection is surely needed. One element has been missing, and that is the West's relationship with Middle Eastern dictatorships that have played a pernicious role in the rise of Islamist fundamentalist terrorism. He attacks Kuwait, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia for their lack of human rights and for supplying arms intended for other jihadist groups, which are likely to have fallen into the hands of ISIS. He writes, although Saudi Arabia has given $100 million to the UN anti-terror program and the country's Grand Mufti has denounced ISIS as enemy number one, radical Salafists across the Middle East and receive ideological and material backing from within the kingdom. According to Hillary Clinton's leaked memo, Saudi donors constituted the most significant source of funding to Sunni terrorist groups worldwide. He concludes by calling out Britain on its behaviour. Britain's foreign policy demonstrates how empty such words are. Our allies are up to their necks in complicity with terrorism. But as long as there is money to be made and weapons to sell, our rulers' lips will remain stubbornly sealed. For more updates, please visit levant.tv. And subscribe to MidEast In-Depth on iTunes. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.